Okay, so
Answer Dad.
oh, I just texted him. So Tata's name was Rene. Grandpa's name was Rene
Mm-hmm.
on my dad's side, and he was way nicer than any of the other people on my dad's side to either of us. I mean, as growing up, I know I felt out like an outsider too. But yeah, he went out of his way to help us, and try to give us remedies when we were sick, and garden, and he was just a really nice guy. I remember nothing but warmth from him, and that was good. But I understand it was hard for you when you came here because most of the family was rejecting you. You had to be really strong because you're kind of on your own out here, and the whole family's over there. So Dad's going to barber's college. Did he have a job at the same time?
Yeah, he was working at the pharmacy, which he
Ah.
started working at the pharmacy when he was 13.
For nefarious reasons, probably at that time.
No, he went in because he's always liked commerce,
Yeah.
and it was a Latin American pharmacy, and he ended up doing all kinds of things for his boss Eddie, and he was a gopher guy, and he did money orders and deliveries, and going to Eddie's home with him, and ending up being bartender for Eddie.
Bartender even, huh?
Yeah, and driving him around. Eddie liked to play around, so he used to have him drive him around to different nightclubs.
So Dad was his little gopher.
Yeah.
So at that point, how old is Dad and how old are you?
He was 24 when we got married.
So
I was 27.
So this part of your life is around 25, you're around 28. Okay.
I was in 62 when we got married.
So you lived
And
in
you were born in
62.
66.
I was born in 66. You must have gone through a few different places, or did you? What did you progress through different towns as you moved up financially?
We went from East LA to I don't know what that part was, but we went from there to Warwick Avenue in El Sereno.
El Sereno.
And then from El Sereno we bought the house.
Acosta Drive.
No, we went to where was this place? Well, it was a house that we bought.
So you bought another house. You bought a house, and then that wasn't the house I was born in, though. Is that correct?
No.
I was born in the next house you went to, which is
in Temple City.
In Temple, is that Temple City? Yeah, I guess so. On Acosta Drive.
Where we lived next to Bona. And you made your friend Patrick there.
Yeah, I remember.
Patrick Thorpe.
I remember. So,
And then we bought a house
and you bought it.
on Acosta Drive.
That was after I was born? I'm a little confused.
Yeah. No, you were born over there next to Bona's house.
Oh, okay. And then we bought a house on Acosta Drive, and that's my main memory of a house as a young kid. So,
lived across the street from Maria. Maria Aldoretti.
Yeah. So from 62 to 66, I know that you were trying to get pregnant for a long time, and it wasn't. Were you like trying immediately after you got married?
No.
We waited a little while?
No, we weren't trying, but we weren't trying not to.
You weren't trying not to. You weren't using protection or anything.
No.
So as time went on,
it didn't happen.
And it didn't happen. It was a little disappointing, and you started consciously trying. Is that correct?
Right.
So I was one of the lucky ones that actually has tried for one. Yeah.
Well, both of your children, I've told you, they're in special.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad, and that makes me feel good.
I looked for you.
So finally, 66, you were able to conceive a child. That was me. And you're living in Temple City on Acosta Drive with Dad. And Dad is, at that point, he's got his... Is he working at another barber shop?
Yeah, he was working with other people.
With other people, like kind of like renting a spot or something like that.
Taking turns and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then he wanted to buy his own place. So he went into the shop on Valley and St. Gabriel Boulevard.
The place, is that the last place he owned down there, or was there another?
That was the first place.
The first place.
And
it was by Gemco, I remember. Yeah.
That reminds me of something with your tata, your grandpa. His dad.
Yeah.
He was kind of a jokester guy. And sometimes he would stand out in front of the shop.
Yeah.
And he'd say, "Can you tell me where St. Gabriel Boulevard is?"
He would stand right there on St. Gabriel and say, yeah, he was a funny guy. I remember him joking around a lot. So let's see. So 66, I'm born. You're living on Acosta Drive.
And then when you were about 3 years old, we wanted to have another child.
And did you try physically to make another child?
I tried the rhythm thing where you're supposed to look for ovulation day.
And then you tell Dad it's the day, and you guys would try to do it.
Yeah, that's how you came about, because I had to find out what day my temperature peaked in the morning. I was supposed to take my temperature and get busy. And so he was at the barber shop when I peaked. And I called him, and he had to come home. Literally.
Yeah, literally. So
we tried that to get
the second child.
The second one. And it didn't work. So after 2 months, we decided to look into adoption because it was too much work. And anyway, we wanted a girl.
Yeah, you wanted to make
and
sure.
that way we could get a girl.
Yeah, a girl.
And that's how we got Suzanne.
I see. And how was the process of going through an adoption process? Was it?
It was. It was quite in depth. Is the word, I guess. They looked into both our backgrounds to see if we had any type of record.
Yeah.
And somehow the outlaws, the in-law outlaws, got involved, and somebody had sent an anonymous letter to the adoption board saying that I was an unfit mother, that I didn't even take care of the kid that we had already, and et cetera, et cetera.
So this was an anonymous letter sent to the adoption agency that you pretty much think came from somewhere in your
Who else would bother?
Yeah. Oh, well,
and
that's
so
terrible.
they had to investigate me. They had to send for my record in all states.
Oh my!
And I didn't even have a parking ticket anywhere.
So you showed them.
But it was just so painful to.
Yeah. When you're coming against your loved ones, and they're so hateful, and that's too bad that happened. But you got you saw Suzanne's picture, I'm assuming, in a book or something.
Yeah, they brought pictures over to show us, and there was this little doll.
A little doll.
And they took you in the room. They asked if they could talk to you by yourself. And the caseworker says, "Would you like to show me your room?" So you took them into your room and talked about all your things that you had in there and whatever.
I remember
we were
that.
not practiced.
Yeah.
We were not privy to the
to
be in there. It was alone.
Yeah, it was
you and her
thing,
alone, and they're professional in getting information out of the kids. So I guess you must have done a good job in selling your parents.
Oh, good. Oh, and myself too. I'm sure they were curious about me. Okay, I'm going to pause this, so we're going to go to the next